everybody just give one word that describes either TM, MBNO.
Loyalty. Give us one word, that family. That's my one word, family.
Unity. That's my word.
Blueprint.
That's a good one right there.
Free.
Wow.
Joy.
Loyalty.
Yeah, man. Hey, happy Sunday to everybody. Welcome to Catch 12, media company that we're starting. Everybody here is a part of it. Everybody is partners. One person sitting here does not need no introduction, hence the 12 in the name, Catch 12. But the vision is to start a media company with everything that we actually have been doing for the last few years, keeping it under one umbrella, basically, and then giving organic stories, that are, true, they're natural, they're us, they're part of what we see and have been dealing with, in our lives. The motive is to give us an avenue, to have things to do, things to talk about. This whole group right here has been pretty quiet for the last few months, to say the least. But, I think the world should actually be introduced to everybody. A lot of times you get to see a group and you don't know who's who. I think everybody knows my brother, Team Morant. I mean, he's world renowned now. I mean, we can't even go in a mall 5 minutes without somebody walking up to see who he is. So the media company in itself is going to highlight a few things. It's going to highlight some things with Nephew in it, but that's not the focus. The focus is the storytelling, the AAU program, the podcast that we're going to be rolling out. So I'm going to give a little intro of myself, and then I'm basically going to intro some of the guys and let them tell their part and how they even got involved, because even this group is organic. So I'm Uncle Phil. Actually, background has always been telecommunication, played a little basketball, junior college, NAIA level. But, when Nephew got drafted, I became a part of his business affairs and operations stuff. To my right, Devontae Pack goes by D-Tap. This is his brother from, 6, 7 years old, and I'll let him actually talk a little bit about himself and how he got going. So, swing to you, Tap.
Like Unc said, Devontae Pack. I'm known as D-Tap, Tap, whatever you want to call. I'm from Sumter, South Carolina. Went to college in Kansas. I did 2 years at a JUCO, College. Transferred to Wichita, Kansas, which is school, Friends University. Finished up my last 2 years. Got my bachelor's. Went back for my master's my third year. Ended up not finishing. Came home and started the brand MBNO. MBNO is My Brothers No Others. The message behind MBNO is a family structure thing, basically what we starting to do now, but right now I'm trying to turn MBNO to a foundation.
Good stuff. To my left, like I said, he don't need too much introduction. Team Morant, everybody call him Pops in the inner circle. But, they know him as Ja Morant's dad and coach and heckler of every NBA player and team in the NBA. So when you're dad, you really don't need a whole lot of introduction, but what part do you play in this circle?
You said it all. I pretty much am myself for the most part. Listen, move strategically, but most of all, I can finally be a fan of my son, because everybody know he always said it, and it's true. I was his biggest hater. And so now, you know, I pretty much can let my hair down, so to speak, and, you know, just be dad, cook, barber, part-time. What'd you say? See? But yeah, like my brother said, we're launching the Teed Up podcast, where we pretty much interview, you know, parents of professionals and, you know, let them tell their journey. Because I always say, when it comes to this, everybody got a different GPS to get to the same point. So I let their story speak while, you know, we talk about mine as well.
That's dope. We definitely gonna get back a little bit on the podcast stuff, because you said GPS to the same finish line, but everybody's story is different, and we definitely have a unique one to tell. But to T's left, like I said, no introduction. We not even gonna intro him because he gonna do a whole lot of media stuff tomorrow anyways. So we gonna bypass him. You know, he just got free reign to speak whenever he want. But to Ja's left, we have Jonathan Thomas, goes by JT. Pre-draft, we actually decided to train at IMG Academy. And, you know, JT is a coach at IMG at the time. And initially, IMG had a couple coaches working on court stuff with a job between weightlifting. And JT was one of them. And then it was a shift. And we were back at the villa kind of talking about it a little bit, you know, and we kind of asked it, you know, to have JT consistently on the court with us. And then after that, you know, he basically just became full-time trainer, family. JT, you want to talk a little bit about like that initial, you know, like on-court stuff? I know you was just doing your job, but like how that transitioned into now.
Yeah, that was a unique time, bro, because I think 2 weeks prior, the person that was leading the pro skills department had just quit. So they was in a space of trying to figure out new hiring. And if anybody ever asked me about that story, I always be like, man, that was like all God. Like it was just all divinely ordered. And they wasn't, I think at the time, IMG wasn't in the process to hurry and hire someone. So I think on that first week, the Morant family, you guys came in town, and I know they was kind of respectfully scrambling to see, okay, which group of coaches will work best.
Right.
And at that time, it was Coach Cookie and I.
Yeah.
I think we must have went the second workout. I think the first workout, y'all had somebody else. So Coach Dan, they brought him in that following week. Mm. And then, like you said, everything else it's been a vibe ever since.
Good stuff.
Yeah, man.
And to JT's left, Trey Draper. Trey actually, Leonard Draper. Like that's what the paychecks say, Leonard Draper. But we go by Trey. And if my memory serves me correct, you were associate head coach for the national team at IMG as well. Like, speak on how, you know what I mean, that you came into the circle and all the way to now.
Well, I ain't never really talked about it, but if we just being honest, that was kind of that was a different time, because like I said, if my memory serves me correctly, one of my best friends had just got killed in Memphis. And I know y'all was on campus. I was here, you know, rest in peace to my dog Juice. But I got a call about Ja being on campus, and an injury happened. And I was at the funeral when I got the call. I stepped out, took the call, and, you know, some things happened where they tried to say that I was a part of that, and character was kind of questioned a little bit.
Information getting leaked.
Yeah, information got leaked.
Yeah.
You know, long story short, that was my first experience of corporate America. I don't really want to, go too deep on what happened, but I do know that was my first introduction to the Morant family, because I would always see them in passing, but when the funeral, when my dog got killed, I came back to Memphis. I got back to IMG, T came and got me on court and basically apologized. He was like, yo, we already know what happened. We know you had nothing to do with it. You wasn't even here. You really didn't even know. And T took me right up to Coach Nash's office and addressed the situation right then and there. Didn't even know me. Had not seen me even once, right? And that showed loyalty off the muscle for me. That's one of my biggest character traits, right? Is loyalty and integrity. And from there, I remember 12 texting me and told me to come to the house because T was cooking. Came over at 8. 12 said show up to workouts the next day with JT, and then the rest is history. So I think that's just the story of, I believe in God, right? And that's when somebody used something, when the devil tried to get involved, and he just do a whole 360.
Right. In your favor.
And he ended up working out, in my favor. So that's the story to how I got here, sitting in this chair right now.
Yeah, and the reason we did that, because honestly, I want a lot of people to be intro to the circle. We don't have to explain the why to nobody. Like I said, the Catch 12 itself is gonna do a whole lot of explaining and storytelling. But like, speaking of the why part, like being since 2019, since going to IMG, this has been a journey that, needs to be documented. I know a lot of stories, a lot of people want to tell their stories, and we plan on hearing a lot of those as we progress. But the whole thing was like, seeing, first of all, being an advocate movie person and series watcher and stuff like that. And then my son, like, really getting interested in videography and, cinema stuff. That was big to try to start something that's like, man, where we come from, everybody in this circle, you don't get to actually do something that you actually love to do. You actually do what you gotta do, and nephew has given us the platform to actually try some things. And looking at going into this start of the year, we did 12 times. That's a story in itself. Just trying to flash back to that, it's crazy because we started a program, and we started small, but it grew so big in a short period of time.
Got a month and a half.
And to me, it was a successful year. Would y'all agree? Exactly, and we learned a lot of things. I think year 2 is gonna be exceptional, but we got a lot of footage. We got a lot of content. We changed some kids' lives and stuff like that in less than a year. And to me, this is the why for me. What do you think?
That's kind of my why too. I think that we try to bring everybody in as family, and I think that's what we kind of like stand upon, that we just try to stay a family core thing. Mm-hmm. So I think that was big to have. We're having a 12-time AAU, bringing the kids aboard to see what we like and what they like, and see how we grew up and how they growing up is just a fun process.
Yeah, it just aligns and whatnot,
I think for me, it's kind of like, it's a journey, because it gets you back into that coaching space, into that mind, where we got, it's kind of stepped away from, we got into the trainer side, but then also just to see like I was with Tap the whole year, and when I got started, I was 22. Tell you were 25.
I'm 25.
So like, that was me. You know what I'm saying? So to see us talk basketball, dialogue, and I see so much, like we sit on the bench and we may disagree on something, but he be like, I want to roll with this. But you know what I mean? And just see it and be like, all right, bet. And then it worked. You know, I think that just, and it builds continuity. You know what I mean? So just to see like us grow as a family, you know, in that basketball space.
Man, smart.
That's the first thing I thought about.
So you said that word. I was like, I heard 12 voices. I heard him say like.
I saw
So it's gonna be a lot of joking in the podcast. Probably a lot of moments right here.
and that's crazy. We actually grew a lot of guys together. Coaching is it's hard.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's very hard. And you know, respectfully, the three of us got kids. Three of y'all don't. You know what I mean? So not only y'all coaching, y'all was actually parenting, and then we pairing y'all up, and it's like y'all all polar opposites of each other. But you gotta learn JT and T coaching together. Yeah, they might have had a little bit more communication, but you could see the disagreement sometime, but it's like, you know, taking the higher road or being in the car and hearing them debate something about the team.
You still gotta put this guy,
His voice on the TV.
this guy right here.
He coaching everybody.
We should run this.
Right.
I must say that's probably, there's a lot of layers to the summer when it comes to 12 time. But like you said, when it comes to that 7th grade team, and from my perspective, being in this vessel, sitting on the bench with T and 12, bro, that experience, bro, like from a basketball perspective, man, like from a leadership, a basketball perspective, helping kids grow to be the best version of themselves. But ain't no words could really explain that. Like all of us giving maximum effort.
Right.
And we'll like literally split them at 12 and like, hey, JT, your boy, hey, don't worry about it. We got it down here. We got it down here. I'm at the end of the bench. They up there. We all yelling.
Right.
That whole thing was fine.
The balance worked out. You know what I mean? And it showed and stuff. You know, it was like good cop, bad cop sometimes.
Right.
Like, all right, man, you be the aggressor and I'm gonna be the nice guy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I would see it with Trey be, you know, talking some kids up where they done got all in their feelings about missing a basket. And Tap is calling the plays, but Trey down here counseling the guys on the bench, and that chemistry just worked, and that's why I say I just see so much growth.
To be honest, and then to your point, like I think Tap mentioned it one day. We was sitting here. I was wondering why, like I kind of sit at the end because I noticed as the summer progressed, we're dealing with children. Right. Must not go. Yeah, children. Yeah, they 12, 13. So I call them children. I didn't want to call them kids.
Right.
But when you got voices, when you're dealing with kids, I noticed that we had 3 coaches at the top, and every time they came out, they would go down there and pout and be talking amongst each other. So I was like, you know, let me sit here. We got 3 smart minds at the top of the bench. Let's sit in the middle and coach the stuff that ain't on the court, because that's what's going to prepare you in the future, right? When you talk about body language, and I think that's what separates our program from the rest. Like we want wins, but at the end of the day, like what them grades look like.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We had one kid, we're not gonna call his name, but he didn't wash the dishes. You know, he texted us in the chat trying to play, but like, and we like, hey, I ain't getting in the middle of that. You gotta take care of home, right? And I think that's what like separates our program from the rest.
Right. I gotta ask this question to nephew though. How in the fuck did you do all the road trips in the SUV? Like I would be driving like, why is he even in the car?
Man, it's just the whole AAU experience. You know, that's how we traveled when I played. So, you know, pretty much not even caring it's 8-hour drive, 6-hour drive.
One way.
Yeah, one way. But it's just like, you know, just having that experience, and that's memories, you know, like we ain't gonna get back. You know, that's something we gonna, you know, remember. Like, man, you remember we was on the road, we took that 8-hour ride and we could have just flew.
Yeah.
And it's like, we talked amongst each other during that time, you know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of, you know, bonding and stuff going on during that time. And That's
fun.
just us, as
Yeah.
you know, as a family.
Yeah, it was fun. I think we're going to change the dynamics of AAU moving forward because a lot of people, you know, were shocked that you were actually in the gym. And shout out to Derrick Rose too. You know what I mean? Like,
Go give him his flowers,
yeah,
man. Retired.
yeah, man. You know, it's like, man, these brothers is in a small gym in Greenville, South Carolina, Rock Hill, South
Lexington,
Carolina.
Kentucky.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it's like, they like, wait, why they here? This ain't Peach Jam. You know what I mean? Like, cause that's where you see all the, you know, the higher level one, yeah, the names. But it's like, man, they in this gym, and they chilling. They actually, you know, nah, they ain't in this town. And people showing up, paying admission.
I got a question though for Pops.
What that?
So, back when me and 12 were playing AAU, and you remember you was at the back of the bench. What's the difference between then and the Team 12-time team now of like the different coaches or the different players from each program?
It was well, that was strategically done as far as me and Coach Walt. We put B Brown at the head because we had our sons on the team. And my thing was always, I never wanted to coach my son, I just wanted to train him, and you as well. But it was more of like, I wanted y'all to get everything, all the props y'all get or whatever on y'all own and not. He can only shoot like that because his dad the coach type joint, you know? So it was the same thing like Trey saying, I'm down here, you know, coaching him up while B Brown and Walt are down there yelling. But I was about to say, y'all are used to it because all the van trips we took. Usually we get there with 5 minutes before the game. We get dressed on the van, you know, that type of stuff. But you know, those are the fun parts, except when y'all, you know, passing gas and stuff and not telling who doing it, you know, and I'm bad driving, you know. Other than that, you know, I mean, you can't beat
I don't
the
know,
experience.
bro. I don't know. I'm like, man, what you want me to tell you if I don't know? That ain't me.
Yeah. And I always was like, yo, man, keep people out y'all business. Ain't nobody want to smell that. And then the crazy part is, all of them giggling, so I can't pinpoint who did it. You know? Yeah, like, yo, but yeah, it's an experience in itself. And not to go too far back, but like, well, y'all four know Trey and JT got a little bit of it, but we was always raised, like, especially me and Phil, my grandma always had all the kids, you know, back in the woods, you know, and we're playing. And then when y'all got of age, that's how it was. It was nothing for me and Jamie to have 10 kids sleeping in the house, not knowing when their parents coming to get them and all that. So it's natural for us, you know, with kids. So that's why it's natural for him, you know, to be around them, joking with them, you know, because they humanize him in the fact that it got to the point where at first the 12-time team, they was like, oh, there go Ja. And then after about 3 tournaments, they like walking around pushing him and stuff like that. And I think that's the thing that he enjoyed most, that he could actually be himself.
Yeah, normalize it, you know, and then they see like, man, he a superhero on TV and everything, but he right here with us taking the time, you know, to come to the tournaments and support, you know, hands-on and actually sitting on the bench coaching them up. And little do a lot of people know, T did not want to coach the team. You asked that question because it's like, I said, we in Portland driving, I said, you know you got to coach the team, right? And he like, nah, JT gonna be the head coach. I said, no, JT not. I already asked JT, and he don't want to be the head coach.
Yeah, we was in the car. We was in the car about to go shopping.
Yeah.
And before we hopped out, man, you was like, no, bro, you won't be sitting in that seat.
JT like, I want to do more.
I'll be right there in the
I want
trenches.
to coach, but I want to play and develop. I want to do a lot of, you know, stuff with it. And T was like, nah. I'm like, bro, you not going to sit there and just be quiet. You're not. You know what I mean?
But we were
I couldn't
three
even
head
sit there and
coaches.
be quiet.
We were 3 head coaches.
Yeah.
But they're good.
Which is good.
It's hard to be around 2 jerks though.
Hey, I think another
Tell
cool,
them what to do.
like another cool perspective though, like like Tap just had his MBNO camp, and you talk about like used to taking the kids in, like this is a true story. Like flew to Sumter, landed. Bro, I pull up at the house and it's the whole team still there. Like they in the crib. Like they still like it's right now. Like 3 days ago, what was the camp? Like 6 days ago? They still there. Like a funny story, we had one of the kids' mom, I think he was kind of talking about it. She pulled up, everybody was still asleep, so he called his mom to come get him because he didn't want to be late for camp. And he like, Mom, can you, Kai, was it Kai? Shout out Kai. And he was like, Mom, come get me, I don't want to be late, everybody's still asleep. She said she get there, she's stepping over kids and everything.
I got to get on Kai about that because I actually drove all of them to the camp.
And he was gone?
And I played one of nephew's playlists that I got saved that he would listen to going to the arena. So I turned it on and I had at least 6, 7 of them in the SUV, and I said, now I was in there with me, and I said, I'm gonna play nephew playlist, but I'm about to talk y'all fucking hands off because I'm pissed off because I watched them. They took over the TV, playing video game and stuff, and then a couple of them would dip off.
We talking about 20 kids.
They texted and got their little thing going on in the room, like laying in his little bed and stuff, locked the door, and then this is till like 1 in the morning, and I'm like,
camp at 8.
I saw all of y'all, and none of them set an alarm. Not one of them set an alarm and was like, hey man, get up, we gotta go. None of them. So now I'm gonna be on Kai ass because he actually did it and left.
Kai ain't get you in trouble, bro. I'm trying to get you credit.
They all knocked down.
Kai's wanting to do that to the series though.
Yeah, said he had grown, man.
Kai already a pro. Like,
At work.
Hey, remember that Kai going pro?
One man, one side.
He was like, why you ain't wake him up? And he like, sir, he's a man, or whatever. I'm like, man, you're a man, you can set it some more.
for sure.
You gotta tell them your role for 12 times too. We told them we coaching and
So I'm actually like, whatever the role is besides coaching.
Yeah, he loves you.
Yes, I do. Hey, whether it's like booking the logistics, the room and stuff like that, whether it's, like I said, driving the SUV with the coaches from here to wherever, whether it's going to get the food and like planning, you know, like I learned a lot, man. I didn't know these damn kids is vegans and vegetarians. I learned a lot this year. Like, I'm like, they coming up to get Chick-fil-A and it's like, yeah, I don't eat meat. Like, what you mean you don't eat meat? Like, yeah, no, only vegetables. And I'm like, what? Like, you gotta get one of these damn chicken sandwiches and get that long. Like, the bread and the pickle and stuff like that. Like, what are you talking about? So again, I'm learning that. I know about allergies and stuff, but I'm like, man, these kids, like, you know, they don't eat beef, they don't eat chicken. And I'm like, man, I need some bougie kids. But like that whole thing, you know, just excite me. I didn't want to do the coaching thing and whatnot because what y'all alluded to earlier, I did it in early 2000s in Michigan, and it was the grades. Every Friday they had to take something around to the teachers and get grading comments. Made this little sheet. If the grades weren't right, they wasn't practicing. I ain't playing them in games. I was willing to take them losses from star players not being out to prove a point. But I told all the parents this ahead of time. So I kind of wanted to see y'all flourish with it and just kind of sit back in the back and like, look, if it's disgruntled parents or whatever, send them my way. Like it was, you know, some examples where, you know, our camera and video guys, you know, Nye and Grayson respectively, and Grace and all them, they there and they shooting. Yeah, Kawan, shout out to Kawan too, learning his craft. But it was just parents sometimes just getting on the shooters, and I'm walking up on conversations and stuff, you know, with other coaches, and they making excuses, and I'm like, hold on, they don't work for y'all or your kid or whatever. So if you want to do something, you have a conversation with them professionally and you pay for that service. You know what I mean? Because they're not doing it for free. And if your kid is lucky enough to be on the social media feed or whatever, like, applaud that. And if not, that's okay too. You know what I mean? So it was just so much stuff. I'd rather take the brunt of that than for y'all to be just heckled, even though y'all got some of it and whatnot. But I want to shift a little bit because of the camaraderie and the family and all that stuff to the acronym that you got on your hat. You know what I mean? The MBNO, my brother no other, that you started off with. Like, you know, share actually how that started. I know it started with you, nephew, and D Black, if I'm correct, but like share like how that, because it's all the same thing. 12 time is that, catch 12 is that, basically the MBNO.
So the start of MBNO, so the first conversation before we like became MBNO, like start to say we gonna be labeled as MBNO, we actually were just thinking of names. Like we like, man, we be together. We used to hang with a couple of cats back home, but we used to say like Last Kings or something like that, because this was some other guys in the city. They had this other, they were like True Kings. So we were like, man, we'll be Last Kings or something like that. And then time went by, people fell off the ship. So it was like, man, what's something that gonna stick with us? Like, so we like, man, MBNO, my brothers, no others.
Right.
Like, so it was us three. I'm like, man, I might have just get an LLC for it just to have it. So, shoot, I think I wasn't even graduated yet. I think I got my LLC in 2020, July 28, 2020. Mm-hmm. That's what I think the date. So I was still in college. I think I had one more year. So I was going upon my senior year of college. So during that time, shoot, you just like MBNO from here on there.
I remember the chain in.
Yeah, so it was, once the LLC there, shoot, it was stamped after that. So you can't take it from us.
Yeah.
So now I'm just trying to push MBNO to more of a, I did clothing brand. Went down on my clothing brand, came back up on the clothing brand, did some pop-up shops in Houston, New York, LA, stuff like that. I'm like, man, I really want to turn this into a foundation. I want to like give back and like bring other people aboard to make them feel like it's a family thing, like a family structure thing. So I'm just trying to keep pushing and make that a thing, like just MBNO charity/foundation.
Yeah, well, you already know we, you know, like this last camp Trey just talked about, you know, everything under, you know, whether it's MBNO, whether it's 12 time, like I said, all of this is just to bring it all together and just keep moving forward on this journey. You were talking about the podcast, T, and that's crazy how that derived. T always been like the life of the party. T's always been the conversation starter. T's always been the biggest heckler, jokester, all that, you know, and Allegedly. But it's crazy because we start seeing, you know, of course, you know, the media picked up, you know, when Nephew started moving up the charts at Murray. But, you know, now we're locking in on all the TV shows. We're locking in on all the podcasts. And COVID gave everybody a lane to kind of get in a space and talk. And I'm seeing a lot of critical stuff, a lot of, you know, debating and going back and forth on who's who and whatnot. And I just thought about this journey that we was all talking about, how we all got to this point, you know, around Nephew. And it's like, man, T, like, think about this. I'm like, Nephew went from a small town that the last, you know, guy to make it was like 20-something years before that actually played basketball with you. Then it was both of us literally leaving our jobs and being in Bradenton, Florida for some months on this journey with Nephew. No paychecks coming in. A lot of people don't realize, like, when you get drafted, Nephew can attest to it, they don't get paid for quite a while. It's not a paycheck over there. So we credit carding it and savings and everything. And, you know, my family had a little bit of savings, you know, and it sucks because we lost a child to actually get that, you know what I'm saying, that check. But, you know, we're actually sitting here like doing some stuff, and then it's like he moves up to the #2 draft pick. And I'm like, man, why don't we have these conversations with, I mean, the athletes can come on the podcast, but it's like, why don't we have these conversations with the parents? Because a lot of, again, with the AAU program, a lot of people don't know these stories and how, you know, that journey goes. Like, man, what'd you have to do? Like, how, you know what I'm saying? How, because everybody thinks it's just I'm gonna make it. You know what I mean? And there's 450 NBA jobs. There's 450, so that percentage is so low. So it's like, man, let's talk about that. You know what I mean? Let's talk about those journeys. You know what I mean? I remember rookie year, and I asked nephew, I'm like, who's relatable in the locker room? And he like, man, we feeling each other out. Everybody been 5-star and, you know, big university and stuff like that. And he like, here I am, not recruited, go to, you know, a mid to low level D1, and you come out the ashes like that. You know what I'm saying? You rise out like that, and it's like, man, let's tell those stories and whatnot. Like, so I'm like, teed up. Let's teed up podcast and whatnot. You excited to even venture into this?
I am because it's everybody's story is interesting, and to hear it and relate to it, like the parenting, you know, the ups and downs, like you said, it was not a straight path to get to, you know, what 12 is, you know, and it was a whole lot of hard work.
You walk straight over here.
Huh? I walk straight over to your house.
Yeah, that's a straight path.
Man. yeah, but it's funny. It's funny when you can relate and talk to the parent and see, like, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. And then the doubt and all that comes into part. So it makes it more comfortable and natural to have these kind of conversations, because I'm not telling you something I heard, I'm telling you something I experienced. And that's the most important part, because the other person sitting across from me, they can't say, all right, I did it this way, so that's the way to do it. Like, I have no blueprint for it. You know, all I could do is push my child in the right direction, you know, stay positive and all that. That's it. Because if they don't put in the work, it'll show. Right. And these two can tell you, it was like during the summer, they playing video games all the time. They got a passion for the game of basketball, but they thumb hustling a whole lot. So I get up, well, when I went to bed, they sitting there playing the video game and sit down somewhere. And then when I go to work, they still playing the video game. So I stopped, and it hit me. I was like, yo, while y'all playing the game, somebody playing the game. You know what that means? And they were like, nah. And I was like, when I get back from work, y'all need to be able to tell me what that means. So when I got back, they were still playing the video game. And I said, y'all know what it meant? They were like, nah. And I said, while y'all sitting here playing the video game like this, somebody's outside really playing the game. And when they see y'all, they're going to bust y'all ass. Mm-hmm. And from there, it was like almost every time I got home from work, it was like, let's go work out. And it started off with like these two. Of course, Naya was out there. And then the crowd started growing till it was like, I'm training like 20 people a day. So that's when I extended the court in my backyard. And it was really no days off. They was out there working out in the storms. You know, it was pouring down rain and lightning. Of course, I'm standing up under the tree, you know, making sure I'm.
It's still on vids.
Yeah, it's footage out there.
It's somewhere.
But yeah, and then it was like Monday through Friday, they're training. Saturday and Sunday, you know, they're playing pickup. It was them going to AAU tournaments. We driving Friday, Sunday on the way back. They calling everybody on the phone, hoop session in the yard. So we pull up in the yard, there's like 20 cars out there. Right. So it was always, you know, that constant grind to get to where, of course, we are now. So that's why I'm so excited about the Teed Up podcast, because it's letting everybody tell their story in a genuine form.
Right, and again, like I said, parents, because I know it's so much parents that would love to just, you know, man, I'm glad you asked, you know, because you try to, it's crazy being Team Morant and being in, you know, the barbershop, you know what I mean, and nobody actually can see the future and stuff. They, you know, they're talking to you and they betting on football games and they talking smack about who's who and who's better and all this stuff. But now it's like they see you, and I think they get a greater appreciation for, like, man, I was around him and I got to, you know, I got to see this from the grassroots. You know, I got to see Tap and I got to see Ja and I got to see, you know what I'm saying, these guys playing pickup in the backyard. I used to just go over there with, you know, my beer, my drink, and just sit down and watch them, you know, get up and down the court a little bit and whatnot. Like, I just think those stories would be just great to hear, and I think more parents need to hear these real life stories and see like how hard, you know, it was, if it even happened. You know what I mean? If it even got all the way to the, you know, the professional level. But you was talking about grandma's house and in the yard and all that stuff. Shout out to Nike, because we just was back down there actually shooting, because we got the shoes in front of us and whatnot. I wanna ask y'all, y'all taking y'all journey on the Ja 1s to the Ja 2s and whatnot. I'm gonna start with you, Trey. Like, you know, what's your take on?
I think, you know, the day one was probably like my fave, just because the way they came and like being a part and watching. Cause, you know, as a kid, like, you know, you don't even dream of being around somebody that got a signature shoe. So when it was in Portland, we went out there and I'm really sitting in there, and I remember, shout out Mo not here, but he grabbed the shoe and he was talking to 12 about his foot, and I'm like, man, this is crazy. Like, this is how, you know, this is how shoes are made. And so now you got that in your mind, you know, and now, cause knowledge is power. So it's like, even when I pick up a basketball shoe now, and I'm only wearing, you know, 12, so from here on out, but like anybody else, they grab my look at them, I be, you know, you just have that knowledge now because you know.
Right.
So like to see the day ones, and then obviously the twos now, it's like, yeah, this is, shit is real. You know what I'm saying? Like you visiting, you like, you really a part of that, and you watching it, you watching the process, because everything happens over time.
Right.
So like to see, you know, a process go, and then eventually, you know, God willing, you may get to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you know, whatever happens in the future. But just to be a part and watch that process was insane. Like just being a kid from Memphis, you know, obviously we got Penny here as a signature athlete, but to have two, and then to actually be a part of one and watch it hand, you know, right there in front of you, you can't even put that in words.
What you got, JT?
I don't think I've ever really thought about that question before. I think sometimes it's that perspective of kind of like, yeah, I don't really have no words for it, for real.
Yeah.
I think one of the perspectives, though, I think it's cool to be like a walking mannequin. You know what I'm saying? Just to like, anytime to have a chance to put on for your dog, you know what I'm saying? Anytime I walk in the gym or whatever, I take pride in that, you know what I'm saying? Because, I don't know, it's dope. Yeah, it's dope. It's dope. I say words can't really explain it.
Yeah.
I'm acting like this shoe for me.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm talking about real talk. I be having like a damn near like a guilty conscience sometimes. Like shit, I have some, you know, I have, man, God bless his soul, man, I have Kobe shoes, and I look at them, I'm like, gotta grab these. Yeah. You feel what I'm saying? Like I just feel like anytime I get in the gym and I'm about to be around, like, especially other kids, other people, I gotta have them on.
Right.
You know, I just gotta have, that's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? So again, like, words really can't explain it for real, especially just to be, by the grace of God, to be as close as I am. You feel what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's it.
I wore mine to the club before.
Hey.
Like, for real though. Like,
they got good grip, bro. You don't fall in it.
Hey man, these the best. Hey,
Drake. You know people wish Drake.
Yeah. Hey man, you good? I got up and done out.
But for
for real, it done got to a point where most of the time when I'm watching different teams other than Memphis, I'm looking to see who got on the job, and I'll be like, yo, he got him on. Look, right there on the bench, the one at the end. So it's real surreal for me because coming up, you know, you worry about, you know, wearing the Jordans and all this, and now you got this little nappy head got his own shoe, you know. Yeah, but that's crazy, and to watch the process, like to piggyback off you, to watch the process and see Ja like, nah, I don't like that part. Yeah, put that in there. Okay, can we do this? You know,
Crazy.
And like he said, he called himself the colorway king, and he proved it.
Quick perspective, I don't want to cut it, but quick perspective is I remember we're doing the last commercial shoot with the twos, and we standing in front, grandmother crib, your mom's house, and again, for me, I don't know why I've always been like this, humbly, but like just to always kind of take a step outside of the moment and kind of see like a larger perspective. And in that moment, I'm gonna walk up to 12, I'm like, dog, you ever thought like think about like 10 years ago, who would have ever thought, like 10 years ago, you was 14, 15 years old, who would have ever thought like we'll be in front of your grandmother crib, shooting a Nike commercial with your family, like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's, again, I'm a believer, so it's just like God really the greatest, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't even, stuff that we think we about to do, or like you think you got everything figured out, but just to know that like you just keep honing on to your craft and staying locked in, like who knows what it could look like and what it could be.
Right, it's funny, I just saw a caption, I think it was yesterday, and it says, do you ever go back to your old house and just, you know what I'm saying, just remember the times and stuff like that. And that's what I'm like, we literally was shooting a Nike commercial for Nephew's second run, his second line, you know what I mean? And it's like, this is so crazy, because I'm in the room, I'm literally in the room when they showing him the material and the soles and, you know, the inner soul, and I'm sitting here when they bring out the samples, I'm blown away, like in tears, because it's like, bro, we didn't get Jordan. When we got old enough, when we got old enough, we had to put them on layaway.
You wanna know a funny
like,
thing? Just to counter what JT saying, like, I'll never forget this. I actually talked to Mama Jamie about it when it first happened, because when did your shoe come out? The first ones. When was the day? Was that 21?
I think it was.
So your daughter Kari was how?
23.
No, yeah, 23.
How old was Kari? How was Kari? 3? Kari came, I was getting ready to go to the game, and I came in the house. She said, you got my daddy's shoes on. and I stopped, and I'm like, for her to be so young. Today she said, Jama, how he get those? And it was just like, in 3 years, I'm sitting there like, bro, this is, like that perspective of a 3-year-old knowing, like, to me, just no regular shoes. Like, bro, you got my daddy's shoes on. You know what I'm saying? Like, like them priceless, I don't know if I ever told him this, but you know, but obviously, you know, Mama Jamie know, but like, bro, that's wild. Like I can only imagine how she when she get 14 and get to be like, my daddy kids, you know what I'm saying?
Bro, you day one, so I already know y'all been like probably sharing shoes and whatnot, like, you know, like explain that, you know what I mean, the journey with your story, with the ones and the twos.
This shit crazy for real. First off, because folks got his own shoe. But I be like, man, but I remember those days. I ain't had the kicks like that. 12 had the kicks for real. Mom would get them the J's, like, hey, but sometimes he'll miss some drops. Right? It's like, hey, Mom, what I remember he had got them fours, them white fours, them white and navy blue joints. Mom got you the shirt with them. I wanted them hoes so bad. Damn, man, I need them joints. But man, to see the transition to where you had to buy the kicks to now, shit.
You shit right to it. Shit right to it. Right
There you go.
my favorite ones though, shit. It depends on what color tech I got called, which is tough. But I think it was the girls all-star ones with the green, brown, and black. I think they was later on, but them look the freshest on my feet, so I like them the most. Wise.
I think my story kind of go a lot with yours and kind of what T was saying. It just tripped me out to see, like, man, we were just trying to get a stylish shoe at one time, you know, being able to afford it. So like, man, this nigga got his own shoe, you know what I mean? Like, again, all of that goes into this content and the story. It's like he got his own shoe, and this is year 6 coming up, and we're on the second wave, you know, and it's like, my favorite is all of them. Shit, his shoe.
You just think about many people that play basketball.
Yeah.
And Nike is only 22
I think,
signature.
well, signature, I think it's 4 now since, you know,
Think
shout out
was-
to Asia, because
Yeah,
Asia
Asia
just got
got
her
like-
signature.
From y'all, from y'all.
He's 23.
Yeah, so it's 23. So it's 23 dudes.
Yeah. Over since 73.
Think about that, bro.
God is the greatest.
Since
You know what I mean?
1973?
Yes. Nephew, what you gotta say about your journey, bro? Like two shoes, signature shoes. Do it blow you away? Because Tap said, man, you had all the wave anyway, so it's like.
Yeah, for sure. 'Cause I remember like back then, like, you know, wanting shoes, mom and pops and them used to find a way. We end up getting a little plug. You had to. And then, you know, I go to college, you know, I get the little, you know, you get your little check every month. And I was spending mine on shoes. So I could have more shoes. And then now, you know, I'm at the point to where, you know, I start my NBA career and then boom, in talks about having a signature line. And then going through that whole process the first time, which was, you know, a lot of time. I felt like it was way more time than, you know, the twos, because it's my second go round. So it's a lot of easier stuff. I know what to expect. I know how the shoes made. I know how to pick what fabric, what sole I want now, you know what I'm saying? So like going from the 1s now to the 2 is pretty much like second hand now.
Yeah.
Riding the bike with training wheels, but at the same time, it's like you want to take those training wheels off and upgrade.
Right.
So that was just the whole goal and message for, you know, the twos. Try to make them better than the 1s, which we did. And then ready to, you know, bring more colorways out.
Yeah. It was dope to see 12 time, man, like all of that. Like, yeah, and it's like, man, look at it. It's
We got a gift for them, man.
Yeah, it's his AAU, yeah, little dot. Yeah. Hey, 12-time program. It's like, man, they got on his shoes, you know.
You know, it was a fine part of the tournament. We was like, yeah, look, y'all, on the John Juan, woo. So they're like, all right, bet. So like, just to hit them, communicate like, which ones y'all want to put on? And some of them start, like, once they start getting some more, they start to be like, all right, back, I'm about to put the All-Stars on, and then put that
Just like that.
Matches that ain't really, that don't supposed to quote unquote go together, they putting them on.
I felt like that, like once we, you know, gave them that freedom to just rock out, like that's when it pretty much like got to a point where like, man, it's crazy. 'Cause, you know, like once we got the uniforms and stuff, you know, we had to figure out which ones we can get for everybody's size for all the teams, you know what I'm saying? And then we, you know, we get them the shoes and they basically playing at them like they in high school and stuff, like team shoes. And then like we gave them that, you know, freedom, like, man, go ahead and rock out. If you got your other ones, any other, you can wear them. Like, so now you watching them play and you like, God dang, it's 8 different colorways out there right now. But then you look at the other team and you got 3 or 4 players on that team.
We try to tell them catch the wave. Hostile takeover.
I think that's a testament to the culture though. Like, you know, we talk about internally, like, you have the culture. Like, you know what I'm saying? For us being African American, like, they see you and they see like, damn, I can be like him, you know what I'm saying? He got tats, I wear my hair like him, I got 1 string color, you know, we be sitting there like, You really think he 12, though? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hey,
and
they 12 for sure. Coming out the game.
Yeah, they ain't want shit in your
Grab the shoe sock. Hey, you gonna give me that shoe? Come on.
Hey, I wanna rap with this right here. I wanna go around and with our group, you know what I'm saying? Like we've been touching on our progressions, our stories, and all that amongst, you know, MBNO, you know, Team Morant, Catch 12, and all that.
Hold on,
One question.
before that. Your camps and stuff.
Yeah.
Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
The camps in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Oh, shit! Another blessing, just to be a part of, just to be a vessel, to impact the game, to move the game forward. Shit, even with that, even alongside, just to have even 12 supported from the standpoint of Nike. You get what I'm saying? Like, you know, New Orleans ain't never have nothing like that before, especially when I was coming up. Not only that, but you know, by the grace of God, was able to connect to 3 other great guys that I believe in, that are great people, and you know, collaborate with them and push the youth forward. Again, respectfully, you know, New Orleans don't see much of that, males coming together for a vision, for a cause that's greater than themselves. Mm-hmm. And again, that's the whole idea behind it, is just to help the generation. My biggest thing that I've really been big on is exposure and experience. Mm-hmm. How can I expose these kids to not only by being around great NBA guys, but also to give them an experience of a lifetime where I can, or we can also bring different writers and stuff like that to push their own brand and platform forward as well. So again, it's just another blessing. We just finished year 3 this year. God willing, able to go to year 4, and just pray that it continue to just glow up each year.
Yeah.
And while we're on this podcast, you know,
You ain't said the name of the camp though.
Up next elite camp in New Orleans. And while we're on this particular topic, you know, when you talk about, you know, what MBNO stands for, when you talk about what Team Morant stands for, when you just talk about what the Morant family stands for in general, you know, every year I'm super grateful for y'all even in supporting me.
Yeah.
Like
what?
Like, bro, like I'm gonna just put it out there, like, man, this year, you know, by the grace of God, we out putting work in Dallas, and you know, my brother decides, like, shit, we gonna PJ down there. Like, I ain't never PJ'd in New Orleans in my life. I'm trying to keep my composure and stay poised, but like, man, I just was overflowing in gratitude because, like, man, I'm just so grateful, bro. I'm just so grateful because I know obviously too it's just the beginning, but then I want to say it right now that I'm super grateful just for the experience to, you know, we getting our work in for the whole week in Dallas, and then we decided to go hop on a PJ with the fam, and like I said, y'all gotta support. We land at the UNO Lakefront Arena. As soon as we land at the UNO Lakefront Arena, we go straight to the gym.
Straight to the grind.
To go get some work in. You feel what I'm saying? And then, like, again, man, it's just a blessing, bro.
Yeah.
It's just a blessing.
Yeah, for sure. And you going right into the question I want to wrap with. In the circle, let's go around the room. What does success look like to you? This success, yeah. What does it look like? What would be success, you know, successful at the end of the day, looking at what we've been doing and how we've been moving for the last 6 years? What does it look like at the end of the day?
Staying together. That's what I see for my success. Well, like going forward or as of right now in our camp, I think us being together and picking one another up helps me feel more confident of what I'm doing. Like my
Right.
camps and stuff, when y'all tell me, y'all know I'm in y'all corner. I mean, y'all know, you know that we in your corner, we gonna support you and help you anything you need. Like that uplift me to know that, all right, if I need another ref or somebody, Trey gonna jump in, JT gonna help me out, Coach. You at the front table helping me get the people signed in, Pop's talking, 12 showing up, showing his face.
Right,
like
right.
that just made everything go up to another level. So I just felt like that helped me with my success, or what I feel like help us with our success together.
Right, so we gonna go in this way, we're going clockwise. For me, it's, first of all, when nephew got drafted, I said, congrats, you got a job. You got a job. To me, it's stabilizing his family, which he's done. Putting, stuff away for rainy day, which he does all the time. For the inner circle to come together and build this and put good people around, you know what I'm saying, whether it's just this core group or adding pieces that are coming with some value, you know what I mean, that are willing to speak up, that are willing to share, information, even if it rubs people the wrong way and whatnot. Seeing the growth, with the camp, with the turkey drive, with JT's elite camp, with Trey, with the book in the journey in the media realm, with my brother being,
Asshole.
Nah, that too, but that's just in our DNA. But my brother being a present father, motivator, continuing to be the same way, with me actually being a voice, for everybody in the circle in rooms that you might not think you should be speaking up, but I'm gonna say the shit, and then you're gonna see me say it, and then maybe you learn to start speaking up in that same way or in that same manner to keep growing it, and us continuing to, keep adding pieces to what we're building, that's how I see that success to me.
For me, it's like they say, imitation is the sincerest form of flattery. I think everybody under the umbrella and is based around Team Morant, and I think we'll be I want us to be the example, so everybody's like, yo, we want to get like them, because I think we move in a way different, and in a way that pretty much nobody is used to seeing, as far as a group of young black men sticking together, educating, moving the needle. Of course, my son's gonna do what he does on the court, and show them who he really is. And I think with all the naysayers and negativity that was going on, the people on the outside, we can give them a vision of what we are really about on the inside, and not the clicks.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. What you got, 12? What's success look like?
For me?
Yeah.
Or us?
Oh, us. You.
For me, I'm good. Man, Young coming in, doing what I love, around the people I love. I mean, I can't complain, man. I'm waking up every day. So success for me right now, I'm cool. For us, for y'all to be happy and healthy, man. Y'all being happy gon' obviously means y'all doing what y'all want, which is what we creating now for everybody to have their, own outlet to, do what they want. So
that's it.
All good for me, man.
JT.
Success for me. I think I've had an opportunity to talk about it maybe 3 years ago, and I don't think my answer. I know my answer hasn't changed. And success for me is for us as a group to continue to take things to another level, or whatever that may look like. But most importantly for me,
is for each one of us to be vessels and be used by God. I feel like, again, like we started out when you asked that question about even how myself, how I even got here, somebody that's from New Orleans, by like around basketball, I got a chance to meet y'all. I feel like it all has a divine meaning and it all has purpose to it. So success for me is watching each one of us fulfill the plans and the goals and the purpose that God has for us. And I believe that it's going to be impactful. If God is willing, I believe it's going to be impactful in a way that we probably can't even imagine. Just like 12 couldn't imagine when he was 15 years old in front of his grandmother's house that he'd have his own pair of shoes. So success for me is just that we're going to be big as TB, standing on business and standing on principle the whole way. So that's what it is.
Trey, we're going to end with you, brother.
Success for me is like, I'm gonna say for us, it's like walking in purpose. Like I truly feel like we walking in purpose. I was kind of telling a story yesterday when I spoke at this collegiate mixer. Like you could have never told me that this was possible from a dude that started at Mitchell High, in Walker Homes, to the University of Memphis, walking on, getting a scholarship, going to be a GA, like going back to my high school, coaching at Mitchell, going to IMG to like working with, TM, working with 12. So it's like, bro, there's gotta be purpose. Cause ain't no way you can write that out. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like, if we always have a plan that we think we know what's gonna happen, but I feel like, and this is something my parents told me, as long as we walking in purpose, God gonna open the doors. The GP, like T talked about the GPS, like all of us got different stories. So to see it and to now see it come to fruition is, is special. And we in Memphis right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, that's different. You never thought, like I tell them all the time, like, can't take this for granted.
Right.
Cause it don't happen. It don't happen. Like, you got opportunity to do some stuff that's never been done, right? Like when you think about, people done won championship, people done did this, but like no MVP in Memphis, no championship. Like, and I'm going to the last thing to say, that's the main thing. And so like as long as we're walking in purpose, then we all in alignment because we understand that keeping the main thing is the main thing. So that's kind of what success is for me because I think God aligns our purpose. And from there, it's just keeping the main thing the main thing.
Yeah.
All right, Trey and JT, being in the gym with 12 all this summer, man. What y'all expect? Well, what y'all want to see that y'all was like the game y'all like the skills and stuff y'all was getting from like y'all been working on. What do y'all want to see that transition from y'all workouts to the court for next season for 12?
You want me to be like super honest?
Super honest.
Bro, that's why I ain't posting nothing on IG or nothing, bro. Like, I'm tired of talking. You feel me? Like, it's time to stand on business, like JT. Like, y'all gonna see. Like, that's kind of where my mind, like, I don't want to say nothing. I don't want y'all to see nothing. We'll talk when it's time to talk. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of where I'm at with it for real.
I just want to see a healthy and happy 12, bro. A healthy, happy, and consistent 12. That's it.
That's scary.
All right, Pops, for you. So what's your thoughts on when people was telling you don't be drinking on that front row to now what you about to do for next season?
He's drinking, yo, they sell drinks.
I am grown as hell. I drink in front of my mama. Who are they to tell me when to drink? Shit, you know how much work we put in to get to this point? And you talking about I can't drink? Shit, everybody else drinking. Why y'all ain't taking cups out their goddamn hands? Got me fucked up.
Since 12, when you went down January what? January like 9th or 10th?
somewhere around there.
All right, from that point to now, where you feel like you grew and with your nephew, like where you think your growing mind space and process was since he wasn't on the court from that time all the way until now to where he had to get back on the court. So we were basically waiting out that whole time. What was your mind state?
Well, for me, man, that's tough. And the reason I say that's tough because I don't remember the particular date either because everything became a blur earlier that day. Me, JT, and T went to Fixins, got some food, went back. I got a call from my now deceased wife that she was being admitted in the hospital. The game is 3 hours, coming.
You might take your time.
So, I'm watching the game, and nephew's killing, and I can't really take my mind out of what's going on. I gotta get home. But he just came back from the suspension, really. So we on a little run, and we go to dinner that night, and then I tell, nephew and T. So now after that, I'm at the hospital basically for a month. And then she passed. And after that, me and the kids take a little trip to get away from everything. So basketball the furthest from my mind. But when I clicked back in, I knew like this shit is a wrap now because I don't gotta worry about her no more. And I get to do what I do best. Like I'm a businessman, and I deserve to be in every room. He put me in the rooms. That's the reason I'm in the rooms. When I was corporate America, I made my way up. So then I fly out to the Bay Area. Nephew not playing, he injured, but we get to build a little bit. It's crazy. It's me and him talking from Sacramento to San Francisco, and this really was solidified the catch 12 because I always been like thinking about how do we build something where everybody can actually eat without, it coming out of nephew's pocket. And this young man who does material handling for the Kings seen me sitting in the tunnel, and he like, Uncle Phil. I don't know this dude. All I know is the dude said Uncle Phil, and he said, that stuff y'all was doing on YouTube and the MVNO channel was so live. He like, y'all need to start that back up for real. And then he walked off and he came back. He like, man, I want to meet Ja. And he said, nah, he shot by 9 and stuff. So Ja came through. Man, he meets Ja and stuff like that. And right then I'm like, man, that's it. And we roll into 12-time AAU and all this stuff. So I'm sitting here like, man, everything is content. You see what they're doing with streaming football now, NBA now, everything is stream. So it's like, he is the most electrifying guy. He is what everybody want to see. He is the coach of the kids. They all want to see 12. You get what I'm saying?
You just say that right there.
Him, yeah, he's him. So I'm seeing that like, man, okay, now, you know what I mean? Like, I can lock directly in on him, and he give me the green light and let me off the porch and put me in them rooms and whatnot. I'ma help this. I'ma help build this. So I feel like that's where we've grown. Business-wise, we've grown. I was just kind of like a plug and play wherever you got, you got agent representation, you got, Nike and the Nike reps and all this stuff, but it's like, dude, like, you can't be all places at one time. Let me, you know, be there. Let me see those emails and all that stuff. So I feel like that's where me and him has grown, like business-wise, and that's why I said this is our year right here. This is where we kick in the door. This is when we basically we rebranding ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Nike is the engine. Now let's do this philanthropy stuff over here. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to the moon with it. Like, that's what we've grown.
Hey, what did you learn about
Well, I have one question for you, actually.
arena etiquette?
And he gonna get his gift back, bro.
I don't even know what that means.
How to act in the arena?
Just go cross the line.
Hey, I ain't causing no more problems. I ain't never on no phone. Hey, I'm off the way. Hey, I got me. Hey, I just need two things from you this year. I need a head check, pause. I need a head check, real. I need one of those, and I need you to get funky on the break.
Alright, man.
That's the only two things I need this year, man.
Like funky, like how they
Get funky.
go. That's crazy.
Head check, how you, hey, and I need you to get funky one time.
Hey man, for you stepping on that corner, I ain't even gonna front. Hey, I ain't even gonna front. For all the real cats in the world, you know what I'm saying, who got a brother or a brother no other or close cousins, everybody understand that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody understands the why. Everybody understands the why, bro. Like, hold on, bro. I'm too close to it. You can't. I'm too close, man.
I knew what was gonna happen. And when I turned around to grab D-Tap, he was already there.
I was sitting next to me, I would say, no.
Yeah,
Hey, that joke was almost like taken. We sat on the bench and I looked over at Tap.
You think they coming to get you?
You know they coming to get you, right?
So as I see him walking, I done got up and started walking.
I'm gonna beat them out.
One thing y'all need to be drinking at the game, that's Chardonnay. What they'll do it to you. Chardonnay do it to you.
All right, so, you know, to close out, you know, like I said, we starting to catch 12, you know, definitely around the group, how we're building family, the brotherhood that we have, and continuing to grow and bring all of this to life in front of you guys, the audience. Incorporating the Teed Up podcast, incorporating, you know, 12-time AAU, seeing all of these guys' journey, you know, piggybacking off what nephew actually has brought to the table, and you know, just looking forward to, you know, sharing all this with you guys. So, you know, it's been a minute since we all sat down and actually chatted like this and got some, you know, some stuff off our chest a little bit, but then at the same time introduce us to, you know, the world that we actually all are a part of now, which is the world of John Morant, the world of 12, the world of the NBA and the Grizzlies and all that. So, I'm glad everybody actually could free up some time in their schedule to do this today. So thank y'all and whatnot. And we'll see y'all down the road.
We started off as brothers, then became fathers, now become family.
Yes, sir.
Stay tuned.